Everybody knows art is complicated. Where do you even begin? Anyhow, let's take a whirlwind tour through art history. I'll guide you through a beginner-friendly timeline of key art movements to explain how art evolved and why it remains so impactful today. Before we reach ancient Greece, it is essential to recognize the rich artistic traditions that existed long before the classical world. Prehistoric art laid a foundation for human creativity with cave paintings at Lascaux in France, which depict animals in vibrant detail, and Venus from Willendorf, a carved figurine dating back over 25,000 years. These early works show how art became a way to express ideas, beliefs, and experiences. Ancient Greece marks a turning point in Western art. But it is part of a much broader global story of artistic innovation that spans over tens of thousands of years. Classical ancient Greek art aimed to focus on realism, proportion, and harmony. Greek artists such as Phidias, famous for his work on the Parthenon sculptures, created idealized human forms to reflect their cultural ideals of balance and perfection. The Romans adapted these concepts to emphasize realism and individuality, as seen in works like the Augustus of Prima Porta. The Pantheon is a masterclass in ancient engineering and design. These buildings would outlast empires and leave us all staring up in awe. With the fall of the Roman Empire, art began to focus on spirituality and the dominance of Christianity in Europe. Byzantine art flourished during this period, characterized by mosaics and gold-embellished religious imagery like those in the Hagia Sophia in Constantinople. These works sought to emphasize divine figures and heavenly realms, often sacrificing naturalism to highlight symbolism. Romanesque art and architecture between the 11th century and the 13th century introduced monumental stone churches with rounded arches and intricate carvings, such as the Abbey Church of Sainte-Foy. This period helped to lay the groundwork for the Gothic style, which emerged in the 12th century with monuments like the Cathedral of Chartres. These cathedrals feature pointed arches, stunning stained glass windows, and expressive sculptures. Gothic art began to reveal the humanism that would later define the Renaissance. The Middle Ages also included significant contributions outside Europe. Islamic art excelled in geometric design, calligraphy, and architectural achievements such as the Alhambra in Spain. In Asia, Buddhist sculpture and Chinese landscape painting brought transformative innovations to shape artistic traditions globally. The Renaissance, a French word meaning rebirth, was a period of scientific, cultural, and artistic flourishing. Artists such as Sandro Botticelli, known for The Birth of Venus, aimed to celebrate humanism and mythology, while Leonardo da Vinci sought to explore anatomy and engineering alongside painting. Michelangelo created the Sistine Chapel ceiling, and Raphael produced the School of Athens to embody the intellectual and artistic ambitions of the era. This period also saw global exchange as European artists sought to draw inspiration from Eastern techniques and materials. The Baroque period, shaped by the tensions of the Counter-Reformation, aimed to emphasize drama and emotion. Artemisia Gentileschi challenged gender norms and conveyed intense psychological depth in her powerful work Judith Slaying Holofernes. Rembrandt demonstrated his mastery of light and composition in The Night Watch, while Gian Lorenzo Bernini transformed sculpture with dynamic work such as The Ecstasy of Saint Teresa. Impressionism sought to break away from traditional academic painting and focus on light and color. Claude Monet's Water Lily series and Berthe Morisot's domestic scenes represent this movement's fresh and intimate approach. Edgar Degas captured the vibrancy of Parisian life with his ballet dancers, while Camille Pissarro depicted rural landscapes to bring the countryside to life. These artists worked to change the way we perceive the world. It is important to remember that art movements, particularly in the modern and contemporary eras, often overlap in time and geography to reflect the interconnectedness of artistic ideas. Cubism, led by Pablo Picasso and Georges Braque, sought to redefine art by breaking objects into geometric forms. Picasso's Guernica expanded these principles to make powerful political commentary, while Braque explored the interaction of space and form in works like Villain and Candlestick. Juan Gris and Fernand Léger advanced Cubism further by creating colorful and innovative pieces that continued to challenge artistic conventions. Expressionism aimed to focus on raw emotion and inner experiences, often using distorted forms and vivid colors to evoke powerful reactions. Edvard Munch created the scream as a lasting symbol of existential angst. Wassily Kandinsky worked to express spirituality through abstract forms in works like Composition 7. Käthe Kollwitz addressed themes of war and suffering through haunting prints and sculptures which sought to capture the human cost of conflict. Surrealism began in the 1920s as an offshoot of the Dada movement. This period drew inspiration from a fascination with dreams, the subconscious, and the irrational. Heavily influenced by Sigmund Freud's writings, surrealist artists sought to push the boundaries between reality and imagination to create bizarre and fantastical imagery. Salvador Dalí created the persistence of memory with its melting clocks to explore the fluid and dreamlike nature of time. Abstract expressionism aimed to emphasize spontaneity and emotional intensity. Jackson Pollock revolutionized the act of creation by turning the canvas into a stage for dynamic movement with his drip paintings. Mark Rothko used meditative color fields to invite viewers to engage with deep emotional states. Pop art emerged to celebrate and critique consumer culture by blending high and low art. Andy Warhol used Marilyn diptych to explore themes of celebrity, while Roy Lichtenstein relied on comic-inspired works like Wham! To critique mass media and production. Conceptual art aimed to shift focus from aesthetics to ideas. Sol LeWitt produced geometric wall drawings to challenge traditional notions of authorship. Yoko Ono encouraged viewers to interact with her performance pieces to question permanence and artistic ownership. Minimalism sought to reduce art to its essentials. Artists like Donald Judd and Dan Flavin used industrial materials to emphasize form and space. Contemporary art reflects the diversity of the world. Postmodern artists such as Barbara Kruger created works like Your Body is a Battleground to critique power structures using text and imagery. Ai Weiwei explored themes of mass production and individuality in his Sunflower Seeds installation. Digital pioneers like Refik Anadol use AI-generated works to push creative boundaries, while Yayoi Kusama creates immersive, otherworldly experiences in her infinity rooms. Art connects us to our shared human experience. It tells stories about time, place, and people while reflecting emotions, struggles, and triumphs. Cave paintings such as those at Lascaux and Kehinde Wiley's vibrant portraits work to bridge cultures and generations and help us to understand the world and ourselves. This was all from Leap Art today. Remember to check out our book recommendations in the description to find more intriguing knowledge about art history, art collecting, and other topics for art connoisseurs. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to help us reach more people. Thank you so much, and see you next time.